It seems that another huge streamer is getting cancelled and dogpiled by Twitter and Reddit users for completely baseless reasons again. Just another typical day on the internet, I guess. But even more surprising is that their target is Emiru of all people. One of the most normal streamers out there. Like, she doesn't even have any significant controversies throughout her career as far as I know of. Yeah, I think she is probably the least problematic, especially with the people she hangs out with, like Pokimane, Valkyrie and Ludwig. They're even worse scums than Emiru. So I don't understand why people are even targeting her. I guess we'll watch the video and find out. And yeah, it's a ref video.
Hey, what's up guys, Ref here. So the interesting thing about the H3H3 lawsuits he filed against Frogan, Denims, and Caseytron is that having any opinion about these copyright infringement cases is somehow picking a side in the eyes of many people on social media. They believe having any opinion about these cases is somehow picking a side on conflicts going on in the world. It's picking a side politically and somehow opens you up to guilt by association.
I'm pausing here because I wanted to say something. I have been thinking about this for a while now. The Palestine-Israel thing. Like, honestly, social media has really fucked the minds of people. No, let me rephrase that. It's the algorithm that has fucked people's mind. I mean, not recently, like over the years. Because they constantly push content or narratives that reinforces someone's existing beliefs. Seriously, almost everything is an echo chamber now. And people have become so tribalistic. It's like you can't even stay neutral or give a nuanced opinion anymore without people attacking you for it or force you to pick a side. Like Rev said, you either are with us or you're against us. Like, never something in between. It's so infuriating. Just look at H3H3. You can hate the guy. I don't like him too. I think he's a fucking snake. But his lawsuit has nothing to do with his ideology or political beliefs. It's literally about content creators that maliciously try to infringe on copyright. But somehow, the internet is trying to make people pick a side. Like, this isn't a black or white issue. I don't care about your Israel-Palestine conflict. It doesn't matter to me. I only care about people around me and my own country, which is now also being fucked over because of our stupid-ass politicians. But that's not the point. It's just so annoying to see that people force you to, like, oh, you don't hate on Israel? Then you must be condoning the genocide happening in Gaza. You support Palestine? Then you must be anti-Semitic. What the fuck, man? Why has everything gone to the extreme? It's so insane. I can care about the innocent people being bombed in Israel and the innocent people being bombed in Gaza. You don't have to pick a side. Like, you can care about humanity. That's it. Not everything has to be a side.
To anyone who supports Ethan Klein, especially if you're a content creator. And unfortunately, that is happening to another content creator named Emiru. This is someone who's obviously quite popular, and she is facing the wrath of many different communities because she had a very agreeable take about the Ethan Klein lawsuits, and now she is being attacked by many members, primarily from the Hassan Piker and his Orbiters set of communities, who are saying the most ridiculous, out-of-pocket stuff about her.
Are we surprised at this point?
Completely and utterly
Anyone that watches or associate themselves with Hassan aren't exactly intelligent people
over supposed wrongthink in this situation. Now, as I promised at the end of yesterday's video, I want to quickly share a nice opportunity for you guys. I shared yesterday that Advanced GG came out with their first protein powder. As you can see, Clear Whey Isolate Protein
powder is definitely
better
than energy drink.
Grams of protein,
energy
zero sugar and zero fat.
So
and as you can see by the label, Founders Reserve First Edition. This is their first crack
guessing this would be
at protein
more
powder.
like
This is something I've been hyping up for quite some time, and I think you guys will really benefit from it. And if you're interested in this, in the pinned comment, this will be the first link provided. All you gotta do is click on the link. You don't have to enter my code at any point if you're buying just this. But of course, as always, if you want to look at my page and check out
go support Rev.
My various flavor jars,
I never like any of
supplements
this type
they
of
provide.
Ooh,
always recommend them. You can also check out my shakers with original art based on my V-Tour model, and also the summer apparel line is still active.
That's insane. That's like $160 for
pretty high quality,
shaker.
nice stuff. You guys seem to like it. Make sure if you use any of these items at checkout, use code REV to save 10% off these items. That link to my page will be the second link. I'll explain all this in the pinned comment again in case you're a bit confused, but that is what's going on with Advanced GG. Now let's get back to the content for today. So here's Emiru, someone who's been absolutely attacked over guilt by association many times before, and it's happening
because
again
she's
today
friends with
after she had some
Asmongold and
opinions
Tectone.
about the H3H3 lawsuits. Now, as I was researching...
Wait, I want to pause here because I thought of something. Guilt by association. Does she deserve the hate because she knows Asmongold and Tectone? I don't think so. I don't really support guilt by association. If the people around them are like actively complicit or still endorse what their friends do, whether directly or indirectly, and it causes harm to others, I think that we should criticize for. But what has Asmongold and Tectone actually done that warrants hate on Emiru for still being friends with them? I know people on the internet likes to call them Nazi, sexist, or whatever. Tectone, I'm not sure. I don't think Tectone is a bad guy. He's volatile, sure, but he isn't a bad guy. As for Asmongold, I have watched him for like ever since the Amber Heard trial, and I don't recall anything that he said or done which warrants to be called a Nazi. But apparently the people on the internet think so because he has a different political beliefs than them. But yeah, I think for this instance, Emiru doesn't deserve the hate because the people she associates with aren't bad people. They just don't have the same opinions as those Redditors and Twitter users. That's it. And they criticize Hamas Piker. Now, people that I do think should be held accountable for and deserves to be criticized deserves guilt by association are people like C.VA. He literally invited her son the first time and received backlash and still chose to be friends with him and invite him on a second time. Reason C.VA said that he will no longer invite her son on is because he is now a big content creator. He is now big enough that he has to worry about people hating on him. Bonded the second time when her son was on Trash Taste. And I think even now he's still friends with her son and Ludwig despite all the controversies. Now that is someone that deserves to be hated on, be blamed for guilt by association. Not Emiru because she is friends with Tectone and Asmongold, who only gave opinions that are against the grain. That's it. They don't actively harm anyone, unlike her son or Ludwig.
Searching the current controversy, some other things came up from earlier this year, including this situation where she was attacked over Asmongold because Asmongold had this idea that he was expressing that he was going to dress up like Ash Ketchum and go with Tom Homan as he live streamed the ice raids going on.
Oh my god. I mean, that's amazing content if Asmongold somehow made it work. But okay, on a more serious note, how stupid can you actually be to believe that Asmongold was being serious? Like, bro doesn't even bother leaving his house most of the time unless it's like an emergency or for food. And you seriously expect him to do a stream like this? Like 80% of the stuff he says, he's being sarcastic. And the fact that people don't get it baffles me. Like, what a bunch of pussies, man. Can't take a joke anymore without crying.
This obviously never happened, but people took this very seriously and used it as an opportunity to go after Emiru through their OTK connection. Okay, you can see some comments of people getting banned, basically saying, F Asmongold, what are you going to do? Are you going to denounce what Asmon said? And of course, spamming gets you banned because you're being annoying.
It's a joke.
But a lot of people took this to Reddit. And as you can see, they were saying at this point, if they don't actually cut ties with him, meaning Asmongold, then they are all responsible for this. They all support him. Like, one time Emiru on stream said she feels bad Asmon is getting cancelled. Pick me poster child.
Don't you love it when people, especially girls, call other girls pick me as an insult just because some women don't conform to their ideology or beliefs? What happened to girls uplifting each other? And I bet the people calling Emiru a pick me are probably just jealous of her.
There's some more stuff saying, I just don't get how people like Emiru associate with and platform this dude. Awfully silly of you to assume Emiru isn't a scumbag either. But she's cute. It simply can't be possible with a...
Chat will remember this. Bones Malone, thank you. Marky, Gerda, a death is a death accepted. No cheating. What? I didn't cheat. I only did a little bit of cheating. Even if I didn't cheat, what would you say? How you can't be mad at me? I'm cute.
couldn't have said it better myself, Gura. And obviously, I'm joking. You don't immediately get absolved of every bad thing just because you're cute. For Emiru's case, it's true. What has she done that it's bad? Because of the friends she spends times with? Like, come on. And even then, that reason is not even good because Asmongold and Tectone are not terrible people. Now, if she was still friends with Hassan, that would be another question. But aside from that, Emiru is like the sweetest, I mean not sweetest, like the most normie streamer out there.
Clown face. Emiru went from defending trans rights on Twitter to being an Asmongold orbiter and staying silent on an alt-right podcast for 2 years. Clout is one hell of a drug. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And also I discovered some comments from who else but Caseytron, the third wheel in the set of lawsuits here. And as you can see, the other day, I was kind of shocked. She is now in the lead in terms of the amount she's raised for GoFundMe defense.
I mean, congrats, more money for
Ethan. But it's kind of tapered off over the past 3 days.
And how are people dumb enough to actually donate to her?
I mean, perfect timing, right?
What a waste of money.
You're in the middle of a lawsuit.
You should donate it to me instead.
Pending right now,
I'll put it to better use.
You go on a trip.
I'll make more content.
Everything stagnates. And also, apparently, she eloped with her boyfriend. They're now married, supposedly. And that's an interesting choice, to marry someone while they're in the middle of a lawsuit where...
Oh my god, I really want to say something bad about this, but I don't think I should. It's way too mean even for me. I already feel bad enough for this guy having to marry someone like Gravitron. It must be insufferable, but I'm not gonna add anything more to this.
There's possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars at play, and now you are legally connected to them. Interesting timing, but this was her comments on someone denouncing Asmongold, and she said this back in February, referring to Emiru, of course. Pick-me-Ru would never do that. She relies on those incel neo-Nazi raids because she's not entertaining.
Okay, we all know why Gravitron here is trying to attack Emiru. Also, ironic that she says Emiru is not entertaining when she literally just gets high on stream and AFKs most of the time. That's why she's being sued by Ethan Klein. But yeah, I think Gravitron is definitely just jealous of Emiru being more successful than her.
Caseytron, once again, always uplifting all the girlies in the scene by saying she's a pick-me because she associates in any way with Asmongold. And of course, his fans are a bunch of incels as per usual. And then responding to a post sharing
incel because you don't agree with them.
She said, I don't consider Asmongold's incel fans to be people. And if
wow,
you've been
dehumanizing them.
She calls everyone she disagrees with an incel. And now she's saying, if you're an incel, by her definition, you're not a person. Which seems to be very dehumanizing language for someone who's constantly complaining about how mean people are online. But yeah, seeing that,
I mean, we already saw so many of this type of people online. She's a cry bully. She harasses others online, but when she is attacked, she tries to play the victim to gain sympathy from idiots. We need to just cancel this type of people already. They are horrible and disgusting individuals.
And basically the context of what we're talking about today, yeah, I feel pretty bad for what Emiru is going through. And this is the clip. This is the big clip that got her so much hate and
let's see what Emiru said that was so controversial, apparently.
This is a very hot take coming from her.
Well, reacts are a little scary because I saw that some people are getting sued for reactions, but I mean it's like a different case than what I
love her like Mountain of Kirby.
Surely it's different. It's people that like maliciously react, like they react to people they hate and they're like, watch me so that they don't get any views. Like, yeah, you can't do that. That's not good.
So basically she said,
that's it? People are mad over that? Emiru literally just said to not openly and maliciously steal other people's content. How was anything she said wrong or controversial? It's the most lukewarm take ever about regarding this topic. Bro, there better be more context to this, or does Emiru claim that she's a white supremacist of something after this and does a Nazi salute? Because no way people are actually mad because of this. What she said is it's just common sense. Don't steal from people and don't maliciously state that I'm going to serve as a market replacement for your original video. That is literally what she said. I see nothing controversial about whatever she said. Like, come on, man. What the hell?
So basically she said, fair use is a thing. You should be able to react to anything you want, but you have to do it the right way. You basically can't commit blatant copyright infringement where you're making it clear you have malicious intent and you're acting as a market replacement for someone else's content. In this case, their property, because of the
she only said
that Ethan Klein filed. This is a very mild take, and one that doesn't really
Nothing
pick much
wrong
of a
with that.
side. It just says, don't commit blatant copyright infringement.
Yeah,
and
what's
if you
wrong with
don't
that?
be surprised if you're going to get in trouble for it. This is a very agreeable take, but people went insane.
Oh
Absolutely
my god,
insane.
man.
Here's one comment saying, thanks, Emiru, for showing that you don't care about Palestinian genocide.
Let me stretch a bit. Okay, thanks Emiru for showing that you don't care about the Palestinian genocide. What the fuck? When did she ever said anything about Palestine or supporting Israel? How did this person even make that connection? Oh my god, people really have become so goddamn tribalistic. This is about copyright infringement and they still found a way to make it about Palestine. Oh my god. Oh, this is why so many people hate the movement. Because of people like this. Stop trying to insert every political topic into non-existent stuff. Emiru was just talking about copyright. She never even mentioned Palestine, Israel, or anything like that. Oh my god, people are so unhinged nowadays. Jesus, man. Oh, whatever. Let's continue. I'm having a brain aneurysm reading about this. Oh my god.
Huh? Where
My
in
reactions
any of
exactly.
that did she say anything about Palestine?
No way.
Is there a gas leak in some of these people's homes? Like, is it affecting how they're thinking? Because this makes absolutely no sense. This is literally like hearing voices in your head. You can't see
they're fighting
anything,
with demons.
including comments about copyright infringement, without somehow relating
Ghosts,
it
demons,
to Palestine
whatever,
or
like
anything
delusions,
like that. I mean,
mental
these
illness.
people,
Oh my
well,
god.
Many such cases, but here's another one saying, is anyone surprised she's a piece of crap?
I had no idea that Tectone and Asmongold were this tall. Or is just Emiru really short? Obviously from this picture, like I said, people are just trying to find an excuse to hate on her because she's friends with Asmongold and Tectone. No surprise there. I'm getting a headache right now, man. Oh my god, so stupid.
With a photo of her with Tectone and Asmongold. And people will use this guilt by association to not only attack her, but also to slander these two men. And you
Use
see comments
guilt by
like this, "You are a
association only when
disgusting
the
little
people deserves
complacent
it.
Piggy
Emiru
who hangs
doesn't.
around R-worders. Please shut up." Again, uplifting women by attacking them through guilt by association, calling them a piggy.
By the way, this is the so-called tolerant left, calling another woman a pig and telling her to shut up without even trying to refute what she says. Classic move. Don't use facts, just use emotional arguments. Every single time. It's the classic playbook of the tolerant left.
And also slandering, in this case, I'm assuming they're referring to Tectone, and the fact that people are so comfortable doing this is pretty disturbing. But then you have people like this, saying this broad groomed a kid and kicks it with R-worders and predators. This is kind of impressive in the worst way.
Okay, I don't actually follow Emiru. I only watch like her clips and watch her on YouTube. But when the fuck did Emiru even groom someone? What the fuck are all these people on about? If she had groomed someone, what? Would she still be here? No. And would Ludwig invite her to events? Definitely not if she actually groomed people. Like, what the fuck,
There's
man?
3 pieces of slander in one incoherent sentence. It's pretty insane, again, how these people feel so comfortable saying these things, just like users like this. saying, isn't Emiru a
A
groomer,
groomer
and a
and
predator?
pedo.
Now you're probably confused.
When did she ever groom anyone? I'm trying to think because I knew about the Miskiff controversy involving Emiru, but she groomed someone. Wait, I think I remember now. I mean, not that Emiru groomed someone. People were saying Emiru like groom a cosplayer or something. I'm not sure. I remember it was something involving a cosplayer, and they apparently the cosplayer apparently came out to suggest that a popular content creator had like groomed her, and then people and then the internet jumped on the idea that it was Emiru for some reason. I remember that it was a stupid ass drama because the person in question did not even name drop Emiru. But yeah, I'm sure Rev will talk about it now.
Why are these people so confident in saying this? Where are they getting this idea from? Well, it's mainly from a situation that happened quite a couple months ago. One content creator shared an experience vaguely of being groomed. And for some reason, the internet sleuths out there, in their infinite wisdom, immediately assumed the person who did that to them was Emiru. They did this with zero proof, zero evidence whatsoever.
That made the post.
And this got so out of control that the original person, the original poster, had to come out and say,
she came out
"Oh my
and
God, stop making assumptions.
Stop.
It's not about her. Leave her
came
alone."
out to clarify
But these
that it
people
wasn't Emiru.
are just taking it at face value, and they're running with it because it serves their narrative, and they don't care if it's true or not. And
yeah, it was so weird because when I heard about this drama, I thought they actually had proof, but when I researched it, there was no actual proof of Emiru grooming this cosplayer. And then it became like so big that the cosplayer had to come out and tell people to stop like harassing Emiru, and that she never even mentioned a name in her post whatsoever. Now I remember. And after the cosplayer came out to clarify that Emiru wasn't the person that groomed her, all those cancel culture freaks went completely silent, and none of them even made an apology to Emiru. Even some content creators that went on this hate train kept quiet and not apologized to Emiru. I even remember reading this on Reddit, specifically YouTube drama. People were like downvoting comments that defended Emiru and just asked people to wait for more information to come out. And the mods even allowed the post spreading this misinformation to stay up. It was only like after a few weeks they started to remove the post. The witch hunt for Emiru was so bad during that drama. Like, it's insane. Also, don't ever like visit YouTube drama. That subreddit is toxic as fuck and filled with a bunch of Hassan glazers. And if you read some of the stuff they wrote in that subreddit involving Ethan Klein and how they defend Hassan, they should be put in jail. The people that frequent that subreddit and are participants in that subreddit should go in jail with the crazy shit they write. But whatever, let's keep going. Also, oh no, wait, before that, remember guys, don't believe every baseless accusations on the internet. Research it yourself. Don't take everything at face value. Go find clips, go research it yourself, and don't believe what other content creators say. Don't even believe what I say. I am certain that I would be wrong most of the time as well.
in fact, I would believe the people who are saying this, they either know this has been debunked and they don't care, or they feel so freely saying these things they don't even care to research if it's true or not, which in my eyes are both really, really bad. But then we have this comment.
I mean, it's the same with Tectone and Asmongo. People blatantly call them Nazis, racists, bigots, pedos, all those things, without ever confirming or researching it. They just are trying to be willfully malicious and ignorant. They probably know that Asmongo, Emiru, Tectone aren't the stuff that they claim they are, but it goes against their narrative. So they intentionally avoid fact-checking. Like, people like this are always allergic to facts.
And that would get 74,000 likes. We live in a very strange world. This person said, "Woman who hangs out with every R-worder she meets. I think Israelis are fine."
I think Israelis are fine. Seriously, am I missing something here? Like, did Emiru plant some kind of like subliminal messaging into a statement? Because how the fuck do you even know what a person's politics or beliefs are just based on a fucking 1-minute clip where she never mentions Palestine or Israel? Like, it's so stupid people like this exist. And by the way, I'm gonna mention this Gorbachev person again after finishing this video because there is some very interesting update about him.
I mean, this is literally schizophrenia. Like, you're hearing voices? You heard this in the clip? Did you guys hear any of this? Did you hear her talking about Israelis at any point?
Yes, I did. I heard it. Oh my god.
And again,
what the
more
fuck,
slander
man?
Here, guilt by association. I mean, this is really kind of a
Schizophrenic
culmination
people.
of all the other unhinged posts we just looked at. But people were looking into this particular user, and as it turns out, shared by Yeet here. What a surprise.
Yeah.
The insane person who called out Emiru after she briefly mentioned Ethan Klein's lawsuits is a Hassan Piker Twitch and Discord moderator. You can see from your account here. Yes.
You really can't make this shit up. It somehow always comes back to Hamas Piker. This is just too funny. No wonder no one listens to him anymore. His mods are out here harassing people, making false accusations for literally no reason. If this is what being friends with Hassan or working for Hassan is like, I feel bad for people like Bruce, C.V and Ludwig, because I can't wait for the day where one of like Hassan's mods or chatters go harass them. It's going to be so hilarious if that happens.
Yes, they're a Twitch mod for Hassan Piker acting like this. And also, their name is a play of Gorbachev. Like, yeah, this person's a commie LARPer. Like, it's no surprise whatsoever. And apparently they also shared this about a month back on Discord saying, attention,
riots.
If you're protesting in LA today, please stop by the Kobe and GG mural and make sure it's still ruined. Yeah, and people...
I'm willing to bet this guy is white and is probably a racist, a closet racist. Because how evil can someone be to celebrate defacing a deceased legend like Kobe Bryant and his daughter? Seriously, it's always the left-wing people that are saying some of the most racist and sexist things. And you'll never change my mind on that. They're all just closeted racists cosplaying as progressives. They are all fucked up in the head. And not America, and every single Western countries should open up their mental asylums and send people like this back in there. They all deserve to be locked in mental asylums. How can you hate on Kobe Bryant? The dude is a fucking legend. You are a fucking disgusting human being. And fuck you, Hassan. The fact that you have people like this working for you while you are criticizing other content creators for not moderating their chat. When you have a literal mod that is out here celebrating and asking people to continuously deface the mural of Kobe Bryant. I don't like saying this, but I hope you die in a fiery plane crash, Hassan Piker. Piece of shit human being. And also fuck your mod Gorbachev.
People did do this. They defiled this mural of Kobe Bryant and his daughter who passed
Disgusting
away in
human
a tragic
beings.
helicopter crash. And what does this have to do with the LA riots or anything with the ICE raids? Absolutely nothing. Just destroying this mural dedicated to a father and daughter who passed away for literally no reason other than causing destruction. It's absolutely disgusting people like this. And Asmongold would weigh in on this individual and say basically that you need to shine a light on people like this, and that's why you need to talk about them because they're so unhinged.
You have to openly, you know, these people will stop doing this the moment that they feel like this type of like behavior is unpopular. And as soon as people don't have a reward structure around it, it immediately evaporates. And that's the reason why I talk about it so much, is to make sure that it doesn't happen. And they're too far gone. No, you'd really be surprised at how fast people reacclimate whenever they realize they're not getting validation. And it's an insult to all mentally ill people that are like me. You're right. Yeah, that's true. 1 million views on that. Who the fuck is this person? It's just a random retard that makes up lies. And this is the reason why, again, you should never engage any of these people on the substance of what they're saying, because they're just manipulative liars that don't care about anything other than destroying people's reputation in order to push their worldview. There's no reason to try to stay above the board with these people. There's no reason to try to explain things to them.
And of course, it doesn't end there. So then
I mean, Asmongold being absolutely base and yet again, and he's not wrong. These people are just bullies. All they care about is forcing you to give absolute obedience to their political beliefs. And if you don't, they will lie, harass, attack, and paint you as whatever they want to believe in an attempt to get you to bend the knee. Like, they're evil. That's all I can say. They're evil. That's why you can never reason with them or try to find a middle ground, because they don't care about existing in a polite society. All they care about is pushing their own agenda. And if somehow that agenda gets flipped around, they will go around and then support that agenda. I think Asmongold said it before. If supporting Nazis are popular, they would have done it long ago. These people have no beliefs. They don't care about anything other than pushing their own agenda to make themselves, I'm going to use their own wording, so that they can feel like they're on the right side of history. And if history tells you anything, that mentality is very, very bad. Because when Nazi Germany was in power, the Germans all thought they were on the right side of history then. So yeah, you should never be nailed down to a single political beliefs. Always be open-minded and have critical thinking. That's the most important one. Critical thinking. Think for yourself. Don't listen to what others have to say. Make your own assumptions and just be a fucking normal person.
you go to the H3 Snark subreddit, in case
you
don't
know
what that means. Snark pages are basically pages dedicated to attacking the content creator they're referring to. In this case, it's Ethan Klein. And they immediately started going off on Emiru, saying Emiru talks briefly about the Ethan Klein lawsuits. They react to people they hate and they're like, watch me so that they don't get any views. Yeah, you can't do that. Then this person says, Emiru, the woman who has a podcast with Asmongold and Tectone, I'm shocked. The level of pick me this girl has resorted to is insane. And yes, you can do that.
Okay, I need to say this. Why do you even bother censoring the names of individuals like this? Show their names, blast them on the internet, and they're Redditors. You don't need to censor their names. Just show them in the fucking public. They don't deserve any anonymity. They're terrible people. Also, snark subreddits are just disgusting places. Fucking hell, man. I can't believe Reddit isn't doing anything about them. We already saw how bad they can be with people like Michaela Reigns. She was a completely innocent person, saving and rescuing foxes, by the way, from animal farms. And because of the harassment and bullying she received from the people on her snark subreddit, she had to end her own life. Seriously, the people who browse and participate on snark subreddits, you guys should be ashamed of yourself, because I think every single one of you are just sociopaths and murderers. I wish for the worst to the people that are on snark subreddits. You guys don't deserve any sympathy and peace. God, I really did not expect this topic to make me so angry. I hate people like this, man. Disgusting. Show their names. If they have the balls to write things like this, they should have the balls to receive the backlash. That's my opinion on this. Okay. Let's just finish the video before I get too mad.
The level of pick me this girl has resorted to is insane. And yes,
show their names.
You can do that. The platform you and your friends have made millions on wouldn't exist otherwise. Emiru is that scene girl who sometimes does a Nazi salute because it's edgy. I'd be really curious if this person in their delusions had any proof of what they're saying here, because
they don't.
I would believe
they always
this would be an instantly discoverable thing if Emiru ever did this. But anyways, they continue on saying, I don't know how to explain it, but neo-Nazi groypers always follow these kinds of girls online, and they willingly lean into their racist stuff for attention.
He literally disproves himself. I don't know how to explain it. Because you can't. You're making shit up without any base, without any proof. This type of people are honestly evil. I already said it before. They don't care about facts. They just make shit up to fuel their own delusions. And I can bet most of the people hating on Emiru are probably the same simps that thought they had a chance with her by donating or something like that. And they're now just bitter towards her, or maybe they're just women who are jealous of her. Or they're actually sexist. Yeah, that's also a possibility. Because no way you can write stuff like this without being a misogynist or sexist. Insane. People on snark subreddits are just another breed of retards.
Again, no proof provided. I'm not saying she's actually racist.
I'm not saying she's actually
You just
racist.
spent the last paragraph saying that she is, and she caters to them. But she 100% excuses actual racism when it occurs, so she can be a pathetic centrist and appease people who are actual effing Nazis. Yeah, when you have to say like they're a Nazi or there's an actual Nazi, you water down the term so much. You have to clarify. You mean an
Let them
actual
feel what it's like to be harassed by people on the internet.
In this case, because I'm assuming they're
and
referring
I'm not
to
sorry
people
for saying that
or whatever. And down here they say, by the way, react to people they hate, end quote. That is the point of fair use. It's called criticism, not to mention the people were reacting to a hit piece on them. How effing smooth-brained.
They were not reacting. Like, there's a reason. Ethan is only suing Frogan. Was it Frogan? Well, yeah, Frogan, Denims, and Gravitron. Because they did not even react. They left the video to play, and Denims even said that if you want to watch Ethan's video, just go to her stream and not give the views to Ethan. That is blatant copyright infringement. This person is an absolute dumb fuck.
Yes, how smooth-brained of you to assume that that was the apt description of what happened with these 3 recipients of the lawsuits from Ethan Klein. He's suing them because they played the video while they left the room or took 42 or 43 bong hits while listening to it and had more time smoking than actually providing commentary. And on top of that, they provided themselves as a market replacement for his video, and they made that intent very clear. That's the difference. It wasn't their criticism that got them sued. It was their inability to actually react to the video, and also their clear intent to be malicious in their intent to act as a market replacement.
I don't think refs should even bother like explaining this. There's no point. People like this already made up their minds to be hateful. They don't care about facts or anything. They just want to be assholes on the internet because of the anonymity and continue pushing their own side. That's the world we live in right now. Everything is tribalistic. Everywhere you go, no more nuance, common sense or critical thinking. Like, it's so funny also. All of these Twitter or Reddit users always love to throw around words like Nazi, fascist, not knowing the meaning behind those words. Just because most people with a brain cell doesn't agree with that insanity, we're immediately labeled like all of those stuff. That's the reason why people don't care that you call us a Nazi anymore. We had enough of your shit. We're not going to like get guilt or emotionally guilted or manipulated into believing your radical ideology anymore. It doesn't work that way. In fact, this is why people don't trust Democrats or leftists as well. Because you guys are just a bunch of crazy, mentally ill retards crying on the internet for attention. And stop using the word Nazi and fascist for everything. Learn the meaning behind the word. Like, Jesus, man. Now this guy's behavior is actual Nazi behavior, trying to police what others can think and say and like.
That's not something you can do on any platform. But these people just don't get it. They don't care either. But the amount of insane responses, guilt by association, and attacks on content creators for simply having an opinion, not even saying I support Ethan Klein, more like I understand the situation and you can't do that if you're a content creator. Somehow that lands you in hot
People
water.
People are just stupid. They don't care about the reason.
It opens you up to enormous levels of harassment that should not be happening. But anyways, that's the latest situation involving the lawsuit and anything attached to it, apparently.
You know what? Like, this is my own personal opinion. Always dislike Ethan Klein. This drama has made me like so more like understanding about his situation. Like, this is the damage you leftists and liberals are doing to your own cause. You want to hate on Ethan for not supporting Gaza being bombed. But instead, all you guys are doing are pushing people more to his side and more against the Gaza protests. You can't tell me that they aren't like industry plans intentionally put there to ruin the movement. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure they are. I don't know, maybe.
As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, great video by Rev as usual. Very informative about the entire Emiru situation, which I still think is dumb as fuck. How are people so sensitive about literally everything right now? You can't even give a common sense opinion anymore without people getting batshit crazy and angry at you. She literally just said copyright infringement is bad, it doesn't mean she supports Ethan Klein. The people who he is suing deserves it. They outright said they wanted to serve as the market replacement for his video. And people are mad about that. Like, that's the amount of insanity that we have to deal with now in the modern era. It's so stupid. Also, like, here's a hypothetical. So you bought yourself the Star Wars trilogy and you plan on broadcasting the entire movie on your channel or something. Then you go and tell your viewers if they ever wanted to watch a Star Wars movie, they can just visit your channel instead of paying Disney Plus. Like, what do you think is going to happen in that case? Yeah, the mouse is going to come after your ass. This is literally what Ethan is doing, and I'm surprised people can't even realize that. I honestly hate how stupid people have become, and it's like everyone has turned into monsters because of the internet. It's so crazy, and I'm willing to bet none of these people will ever feel bad about what they said about Emiru. Disgusting, disgusting human beings.
Let's up those numbers!